Hello and welcome once again to the Mets in the UK podcast. My name's Tracey and I'm joined by the beautiful Toria today. How you doing, love?
I am good, thank you. It's been a long week. A long week and a couple of days, actually.
Well, yeah, we had issues. We had issues, but we're all good. We're all good.
We're all good. How are you?
I am freshly sunned, as you can see. I've been in Portugal the last few days and I caught the sun a little bit, but hey, never mind.
Totally worth it. Totally worth it.
Absolutely.
It has been a very long week and a bit.
Yeah.
And we will get on to the marathon game shortly. But I'm going to start by saying, of the 8 games that we counted in our predictions at the end of last week's pod, Tom and I said we were going to go 5-3. And for once, we were right. We were right. Yes. I'd have preferred we were close to your 6-2. But we started off the week, as we all hoped, with a sweep of the Tigers. Whoop, whoop! Our first sweep of the season.
Yes.
I mean, it took us extras at one point, but we did it.
We got there.
We got there. We got the sweep. The vibes were immaculate. And then we followed that up with a series win against the Yankees. So we lost the first game.
Yeah.
But then we came back and won the following 2 games, including in extras, our first win in over 91 games when we were trailing in the 8th inning or later.
Amazing.
We broke the curse. It went back to 2024. Pete's winner against the Brewers.
Wow.
Insane. And then we followed that with some madness against the Nationals. So in the 2 that we counted for our predictions, we were 1-1. So we won the first one, lost the second, but then we lost last night as well. So we're currently trailing in that series 2-1 with an opportunity to split it this evening, bearing in mind it's a 4-game series. So I know some people obviously are new to our beloved game. There are times we have 4-game series. Doesn't happen very often, but it does from time to time. This is one such time. And I am really feeling it because the guys have not had a day off forever. And we don't have one until next Thursday, I don't think.
Something like that, yeah.
And they get paid millions of dollars for doing that. This is their life. We don't. But
no.
What we can say about my life choices is,
questionable.
It's questionable. Nobody's putting a gun to my head and making me watch these games, so I can't complain. But that took us to 5-3 over the 8, 5-4 over the 9, but we are 6-4 over our last 10. Currently sitting at 21-28, which is, way closer to 500 than we've been for some time. 7.5 games back in the division, but only half a game back from the Marlins, who we'll get on to. 3.5 games back from the Nats. We did have an opportunity to kind of jump them over this series, which we've not managed to do. But similarly, the Phillies are losing as well. So we are we're only 3.5 back from them as well. Yeah. So even though you've been on your travels, I know that you've been keeping up with things and you were watching games before you left. How have you been feeling about the last week or so in Mets world?
Like you say, the vibes have been vibing. It seems like something has clicked somewhere. And what we've spoken about for the last few podcasts about the need for chemistry, it seems like it's finally there. I don't know what it is, but yeah, there's just something in the air, as the song goes.
That's an earworm and a half. That's going to be in my head now.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for that. we've had over that span a couple of, I mean, in the Detroit series, we were behind in every game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that for me, that is one of the biggest differences in this team. So previously, I mean, I you know me, I'm always to the last out. I will always, but I think I said a couple of weeks ago, even though I stick to that, recently it's been more in hope than expectation, whereas previously I would always expect us to come back. Like, you believed that we could come back. But it's there again. Like, these guys now don't know when they're beaten. I think it's interesting that you say that, you know, something's clicked. I wonder, and I raised this question before, I wonder if it seems to be, since there was that kind of public vote of confidence in Mendoza, it seems to have turned since that statement was made, and since it was made clear that he's the guy and he's sticking around. All of a sudden, I think that did give, and the firings that came before it, I know we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago when it happened, but it seems to me that there has been something different since then. We've also improved on the pitching front, although Peralta still makes me anxious once he's deep in games. You know, we know why. I don't think that's gonna change. But he has had a couple of wins over the last couple of weeks. Christian Scott has had a couple of appearances, tricky games. But again, he's kind of held his held his own. We got another win finally for McLean in the Tigers sweep. Although he then followed that with a loss against the Nats the other day. It seems like, for the most part, those pitchers that we are starting with have been okay. However, we had Clay Holmes go down.
Yes.
Which was, you know, of all of the great vibes that were happening around that time, obviously we went on to lose that game as well, but the biggest thing from that game was losing Holmes. Although, I mean, what a machine. He fractured his fibula and then faced another 7 batters before he came out of the game.
I can't even imagine the amount of pain that poor kid was in.
I think it must have been because obviously the trainer and Mendoza came out to him when it happened, and he almost, in a footballing term, he run it off.
Yeah.
And it's almost like there was that initial impact and that hurt, and then he kind of ran off and was like, oh yeah, it's okay. Then the swelling hits, right?
Yes. and the adrenaline drops.
The adrenaline calms down. Yeah, exactly. So I think that I think that's probably what happened. Although by that time, his pitch count was at a point where it wasn't necessarily like a surprise for him to come out. So then when it was like, oh, by the way, that was a little tough. But the next night when I was, you know, posting as I do before most games on Twitter, I was like, do it for Clay. Come on. I mean, yes. You know, we all want it, but just do it for Clay. Yeah. I felt so bad for him. A few other highlights over this past week to balance out that low light. We'll get on to the other hammer blow of an injury as well. Well, depends on your perspective. My guy Ty got that 3-run homer to take the final game of the Yankee series into extra, which is the one that we broke the no comeback spree on. And I was seeing online, you know, people complaining about him being at bat and da 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 da. And I was just, I mean, I know I can be a little bit insufferable in the group with my adoration, but a little bit. I love the guy. He just gets on and does his job.
Yeah, he does. To be fair,
but this is why I love him so much. Right? He's not flashy. He's not brash. He just does his thing, comes back, gives his best. Both sides of the ball. It's been really good though to see his bat heating up, and I'm pretty sure the following day he got I can't remember if it was a homer or just an RBI the next day as well, like the next game. It's just like, oh my word, mind you, that game that game was the crazy game against the Nats. Now, if anyone hasn't seen the first game of the Nats series, you're going to need some time.
Quite a bit of it.
Maybe it's bank holiday viewing, right? We've got bank holiday Monday, public holiday coming up here on Monday. Maybe, just, take your computer or whatever outside and sit and put your feet up and watch that game back. I posted on our feed. Somebody did get it. I know that any of our audience across the pond probably wouldn't get it, but I posted a GIF of the Chuckle Brothers.
Yes, I saw that, yes.
Because that was literally like all that kept coming to mind throughout that whole game before we went to extras was to me, to you, to me, to you. It's like, does anybody want to win this game? Like, we're just going to keep
back and forth,
going back and forth and handing over the lead. However, that 12th inning was the craziest thing I think I have ever seen. I mean, it went how I stayed awake, I have no idea. 10 runs in the 12 in extras.
Yes.
The Nats going to a position player to pitch, and I know you have thoughts on this, so I'll come to that in a second.
Yeah.
But the thing for me about that, I'll let you talk about the circumstance, but they were, I say, only 4 runs down at that point. But 4 runs isn't insurmountable. Yeah. Yet at that point, they just chose to throw the game. It's like, oh yeah, we just want to go to bed now. We're just going to throw the game. We've had enough. We're going to, save our staff, bring in a position player. Now for us, like, we absolutely burned through our pen, and I'm sure that that's what cost us in the following game. But we absolutely came the pen in that game. But they kind of just gave it up, and it was quite a surprise. I know you had thoughts on that.
Yeah, just before I go into that, don't forget, if you want to know our thoughts on all sorts of things Mets, we have referred to previous podcasts. You can catch them on Spotify, YouTube, all good podcast hosts. And you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, and X at Mets in the UK. And if you have thoughts that you want to share, you can use the hashtag MITUK to get involved. My thoughts, the umpires, they have one job, and that is to umpire. Now, I'm aware it's not a day-to-day rule. For those that don't know, you can bring in a position player from the 9th. I believe it's if you're ahead by 8 or behind by 10.
Yes.
See, I had to look this rule up, but I'm not a professional umpire, so that's fine. And it ended up where they went to the replay centre and asked for a ruling from them. And I think between the two of them, like as in the crew on the ground plus the replay centre, it took maybe 5 minutes.
It took a long time.
And in the end, Mendoza was like, I don't care. My players are getting cold. Let's just get on with it.
Yeah. I mean, poor Minaya I think it was Minaya. I was like warming up in the pen forever. Oh no, was it Kimbrel? I can't honestly. That game now seems like
it was Kimbrel.
I think it was Kimbrel. He was warming up for about an hour. It was just the craziest thing. And you're right. It was kind of a unique situation, but I was surprised that it took them so long to come to the conclusion that actually it was okay. I mean, surely common sense has to prevail a little bit. And you say to Mendoza, do you mind? And he's not going to say, oh yeah, I'm completely bothered about having a player pitch against me. Yeah. Especially at that point, because we'd both already gone through so many balls in the pen. It wasn't like they had another 3 pitchers in the pen that they could bring in. They didn't. It was
Yeah.
either the guy who was pitching stays in, or they bring in a position player. So, it, I mean, it wasn't gonna put us at a disadvantage. So there was no way that Mendoza was gonna disagree with it. It just took so long. However, we got the win eventually.
We did.
And they still managed to score one.
Yeah.
12. I mean, fair play. They gave it a go and tried to come back. It was absolutely, it was crazy. I mean, it was fun. I suffered for it the next day, but it, it was fun. And as I mentioned, we lost the following two. Although last night they were just really mean. Soto scored a couple of home runs. His second one brought us back within 2.
Yeah.
And of course, me being me, like, come on, we're coming back to the last out. We got this. And then we went straight to the bottom of the inning, and they also scored another 2. De La Cruz again. Yes. And I was just like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So for a moment, they were just toying with us, and we thought that the comeback was on. But we have the opportunity to tie that series this evening.
Yes.
There've been a couple of unsung heroes. Well, I say unsung, actually, they're both starting to get a little bit of recognition. And I've mentioned, in fact, I think I've mentioned both of them before, but Huskar Brazaban being an absolute stud.
Yeah.
Absolute stud. Mr. Reliable. You bring him into open, you bring him in for relief. You can put him wherever you want. He's going to come in. He's going to get the job done. He comes in some of the most difficult positions. And you can trust him to get it done. The other guy for me this week has been, again, Marcus Semien.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Professional.
Yeah. Consistency.
He is a pro, and you can see it. But the other thing, I mean, there have been plenty of positives this week. Mark Vientos this week coming on and actually making some really, really good plays at first base, some really good baseball intelligent plays. Bichette is coming out of his little mini start of the year slump.
Yes.
Which is really exciting to see. And then, of course, you've got Carson Bench, who is just continuing to be like, there are so many plays and so many at-bats, and you're just like, how is this lad doing all of this at this stage in his career, at this age, under this pressure? Like, the boy is just, I mean, we're blessed to be watching him. It's been really good, and Soto, one of the things that we've noticed particularly, and has been highlighted actually in a number of places, has been how Soto has kind of taken on that leadership role. There have been a number of times, like, Benj got a walk off the other day, and Soto was the first one over there to, picking him up and congratulating him. He's been, having his arms around them in the dugout. He has been present. He gave us a bit of a worry because he took a knock on his ankle.
Yeah.
But he came back in during that game, went out a bit later, but then did play the following game. But I also noticed, and actually it was commented on the following day, that at that same time when they were focusing on his ankle, he was actually still holding his wrist a little bit as well. Seems like he's got a bit of a niggle going on there. But I think he's very much of the opinion that they're niggles. We're just going to manage them. If he DHs more, he DHs more. Fine. And I'm just going to keep being present.
Yes.
Which is what we need. I mean, there are so many more things that I can say about all of those games, because they have all had good and bad. It's not all been good. We've still made some silly errors. We've still wasted some at-bats. We've still left plenty of runners in scoring position.
Yeah.
So we're far from perfect, but all sides of the ball, we are finally doing a lot of the right things. We have a really good vibe. And we'll get onto it in a moment when we start thinking about the news of the week. But right now, it still feels, I think, because we've had comeback wins, we've had a series, we've had a series win against the Yankees. It kind of feels like we can face anything now. We kind of got that vibe and that grit back, which for me is great, because that's what attracted me to this organization in the first place. That grit and that determination and that playing for each other. And I was getting concerned that they were losing that a bit. And given that's what means so much to me about this team and this organization, and has done since day one, I was kind of feeling a little bit lost with that. It was making me, like, I was struggling with that emotionally. I don't know what I feel about this, because this is all of the things that I love about this organization, and it's kind of going. So what does that mean? So yeah, I think overall incredibly positive. Anyone that wants to find fault with this last week can go and touch some grass, because
they can go kick rocks, because last podcast Tom said, how long until we start selling? The attitude that the team have shown says that maybe we're not sellers. We might not be buyers, but we shouldn't be sellers necessarily.
No, not with this vibe. Not with this vibe. And on that note, we can move to the news of the week. I mean, we touched on Clay Holmes' injury, so we'll get the bad stuff out of the way first. So he is going to be out for a long old time.
Yeah.
They think he might be back August time. To have him come back later in the season will be like having a new signing. Because he has been, I don't care what anyone says, he has been our ace. I know Peralta is meant to be it. It's been Clay Holmes. So getting him back, especially because it's, I mean, I know obviously they rely on their legs and the strength and the planting very heavily, but it's better that than it to be an arm or a shoulder injury. So especially, you know, it might mess with his kind of his prep a little bit, but hopefully it won't impact his action too much. But we also had the injury to Alvey. So he's torn his meniscus in his knee. He is going to have some lengthy time out as well. And with these things, there are different recovery times depending on the severity of the tear, how you respond to surgery, how your recovery goes. So you just don't know. Now, I have been quite critical of Alvey so far this year. And actually, like, I'm not super concerned about Torrens getting the bulk of the plate. I'm totally okay with that. I would prefer that to be the case with Alvey backing him up rather than.
Well, yeah.
We all like Senga.
Yes.
We do.
Yes.
And he's great as a catcher. He is decent. He's solid. Like, no complaints there. Although he did get hit the other day, which is amazing. But I think we will miss Alvey's back. Again, it wasn't exactly on fire right now, but you know that it's there. Whereas, you know, with Senga, you don't expect him to make contact at all.
No.
To get a hit. You just don't expect it. Whereas when it was the 1-2 punch of Alvey and Torrens, you expect one of them. You know that Torrens is capable of getting a hit. So, and Torrens is obviously better defensively. So it is a shame. I'm glad that we've got Torrens. We're very, very fortunate. And I hope that Alvey is back strong and he doesn't have any hold-ups. However, to balance those two downside of injuries, we've had 3 debutants this week.
I know.
We talked last week about AJ Ewing because he was called up the day that we did the last podcast, and we were saying, we're not going to expect anything from him. Hopefully he won't be under too much pressure.
What wrong were we?
I know. And then following him, we've had Morabito come up. He had a bit of a shaky time. And we had Thornton last night coming up, pitching, making his first start, along with his dad, who was there to watch him, which was a really, really sweet story. If you've not seen the story, A, where have you been? But B, his dad had surgery a couple of months ago on a tumor in his back, and there were complications, which then meant that he could no longer walk. So he has been documenting his journey back to walking. He's not there yet, but he still was able to make the trip to get to DC, to watch his son make his debut last night, which is absolutely precious. And actually, after he gave up, he gave up 5 overall from memory.
Yeah.
He gave up 4 in the first, and it was, yes, that was a bit disappointing, but I think that was adrenaline and excitement and, everything that goes around making your debut. But then actually he settled down, and he wasn't too bad once he'd settled down. The problem is his pitch count had already gotten up quite high at that point. But I think especially with pitchers, the adrenaline is going to impact their action. So that side of things has been super exciting. It's like the Baby Mets baby brothers,
yes,
which is amazing. And their Uncle Francisco Lindor seems to be on his way back. They're still not putting a timetable on it, but they're talking more positively about recovery and return. So that's all really encouraging. What are your thoughts on the comings and goings of the week?
Love the Thornton story. Ewing has been an absolute revelation even. And also sort of the maturity and things that he's shown in front of the media and with the crowd and everything like that has been really, really good to see. And it just shows that the work that they're doing in the minors to prepare them mentally for the bigs, especially in the New York media, the New York fan base. We can be a bit impatient sometimes. But he's handled any criticism that he's received, and he's just like, yeah, I stuffed up. We're going to do better. And that's been lovely to see. And like we've said before, the game is so much of a mental game as well as a physical game that you can see that they're working on that so much in the minors, and that's really, really good for them.
Yeah, and I think you're right. It's clearly something that they are doing lower down, because all of these boys who have come up, they are all handling themselves and the media really, really well. Like that, you hear them talk, and they're not talking. My son is about to turn 21. There is no way that he would handle himself in that same way. I love his son, but you know it. There is no way that he would handle himself in the same way that these guys are, under those lights, under that scrutiny, with that pressure, and to go out and perform the way that they do. And I mean, there's some synergy there between them and my boy. But I can imagine my boy going and doing a performance and coming off stage and facing media the way that they do. It would be like him performing on Broadway at 21 and then coming like as a lead and then having to come off and face the media. Like, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. So the training that they have had to prepare them for that, and you're right, it's such a there's such a mental part to it that I think that having that taken care of early is a massive advantage, because we always say that that's the one thing. It doesn't matter how talented you are, you've got to be able to do it in New York, and it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, and we did touch on that in a previous podcast with Coach Jonathan Crammon, who is the bench coach for the St. Lucie Mets. He said that it's becoming much more of a holistic approach towards coaching, in that it is literally mind, body, spirit, and mental health has come such more of a highlight for the coaching staff, and the resources they have now is so much better than they've had in previous years. And even going from like St. Lucie upwards, that mentality and mindset is in place is amazing for the organisation. Holmes, I'm glad he doesn't have to have surgery.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think Laura Albanese said that he doesn't need surgery, should be back this year.
Yeah, he said it's not on the table. He said it's not expected. It's not off the table. They're not expecting it. So fingers it's okay.
Which sounds really positive to me. And hopefully that means that he can recover quicker. And with Alvey, every time he gets injured, it seems to be like a reset button's hit for him. And he comes back and he's like, oh yeah, I remember, I'm a pro baseball player. And he comes back and he's great. So hopefully the same thing can happen again.
Yes, here's hoping. We can hope. And this is the thing, we're going to start getting some of the guys back off the IL. And if you think about the quality that we have benched, injured right now, and yet we're still finding ways to win now, it's actually, it's really, really promising. It's really promising. Speaking of finding ways to win, how are we going to do over the upcoming week? So we have the final game against the Nats this evening. We have apparently David Peterson starting.
Ooh.
Starting. Not with anyone opening for him.
Not with Brazovan opening for him.
Nope. He is going to start from pitch number 1, apparently. Then we have 3 in Miami. Against the Marlins, who, as I mentioned, we're only half a game behind them right now. They've been quite inconsistent and up and down as well. Poor Pete Price just going through it. 1 minute, they're incredible, and the next minute they're Metsing. So who knows what we're going to get from them. And then we have the first game of the series against the Reds back at Citi Field before we record our next pod. That one is UK friendly on the Monday evening. How exciting is that? Bank holiday Monday, and we get a UK friendly. I think it's 9:10, I believe, off the top of my head.
6:40 BST against Miami on Monday.
No,
or is that Sunday?
That's Sunday.
Oh,
Monday is the first game against the Reds.
I don't
I have
know.
got the schedule right over there, but that's all the way over there. So
yeah.
Hang on. Let me do it this way.
It just likes to confuse me.
Monday, 4:10 Eastern.
Okay.
4:10 Eastern definitely on Monday. So that will be
2:14. No.
Yeah.
My maths just isn't mapping today.
10:09 in the evening. It's happening. In fact, why don't I just? It'll tell me on my phone. What a wally. Hang on. No, it's not going to tell me July, is it?
No, because there's a month between now and then.
10:09. I'm glad I was right. Okay. So yes. So we have 5 games between now and our next recording. So just to recap, the last one against the Nats tonight, 3 in Miami against the Marlins, and then 1 at home against Cincinnati. What are we doing?
Well, rumor has it that we are getting Jonah Tong for one of the Miami starts.
Potentially, yeah. He was scratched yesterday from his start, so he could well be up.
So I think we are going to win tonight, as we are recording on Thursday, and it's the final game against the Nats. We're going to take 2 out of 3 from Miami and take the first game against the Reds.
Oh, 4-1.
Yep.
I like it.
Being brave with my choices.
You are. I don't think I'm far off that. I think the Reds for me are the one I'm not so sure. So no, I'm going 4-1 with you. I'm going 4-1. We have to split the series tonight.
Yeah.
We can't lose divisional series, and that's the same, against the Marlins. We have to win that series. We can't lose. I mean, we need to be winning pretty much every series now to stay in it, but we cannot be losing series against divisional opponents.
Yeah.
So we'll take the Marlins series, and then hopefully, back home, vibes going, we'll get that first win against Cincinnati. But they're a dodgy one for me.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't go 4-1, it'll be that one.
Okay.
I mean,
we shall see.
We shall. I think that's all we got. We did have a question.
We did.
That was raised last week, but no, we had 2 questions. We had one that we can address now.
Yeah.
And then one that we're going to address in our following podcast, and you will see why.
Yes.
What was the question, Trace?
It was from UK Brew Crew, Milwaukee Brewers UK, who wanted to know, are the Brewers and Mets officially back? What do you think?
The Brewers certainly are. I mean, they are absolutely on fire right now. They are leading the National League Central. They are 8-2 over the last 10. I'm pretty sure they beat the Dodgers last night. I want to say that they beat the Dodgers last night off the top of my head. Brewers for sure. And yes, I mean, evidently we are back. We're 6-4 over the last 10. We're winning the series.
The Brewers beat the Cubs last night 5-0.
Okay. Yeah, it was the Cubs. Oh, it's tonight they start against the Dodgers. Tonight they start against the Dodgers. I'm sure they had. Yeah, it must have been the Cubs, because the Cubs have been outstanding. So yeah, I knew it was a big result. I saw. Yeah, stuck in my head last night. What do you think?
I think we are both back, and things can only get better from here for the Mets.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, as I've said, don't forget you can catch all our previous podcasts, including all the ones that we've mentioned in this evening's pod, on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and all the other good podcast providers. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, X, at Mets in the UK. If you've got any questions for us, pop them in the comments wherever you're watching this, or use the hashtag MITUK to get involved.
All that leaves us to say is,
let's go Mets!